Good afternoon, it's your boy Terrell, coming at you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in March, a day after the failed Donald Trump rally at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, or perhaps a day after the successful Donald Trump rally at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago. Much of it depends on your perspective and which perspective you're coming from. Failed in the sense that Donald Trump did not get the opportunity to take the stage and spread his hateful, nativist, racist rhetoric, with the economic populist twist. Donald Trump is kind of a ball of confusion, a complex ball where the message is all over the place, but this message is appealing to a lot of people. Successful in the fact that Donald Trump and many in the mainstream media are already spinning the fact that this rally was shut down, so to speak, as a denial of freedom of speech for Donald Trump. And nothing could be farther from the truth. Donald Trump had the ability to get up there and say whatever he wanted to say. In fact, the Chicago Police Department put out a message to indicate that they had the location secured. Donald Trump could have got up there and said what he wanted to say and, got his crowd whipped up into a storm. But in comes the consequences. Half the crowd was against the type of rhetoric that Donald Trump wanted to spew. So half the crowd was anti-Trump, half the crowd was pro-Trump. There was the idea they were going to rush the stage and really create an atmosphere that may have made Donald Trump uncomfortable, but he still nevertheless had the ability to say what he wanted to say. I mean, he spreads the rhetoric of "Make America Great Again," and that we need to toughen up. And I mean, you look at protests in the past. Martin Luther King, for instance, protests in Marquette Park. He's outnumbered in his contingent. They're outnumbered 25-1, and they still do the march. So I mean, they didn't say that their ability to speak was denied. They soldiered on through it, and they went right through it. And this was a part of making America great again. And Donald Trump, for whatever reason, my conjecture is his false bravado, and that would have made a bad image of being pushed around and sort of rushed off stage and shouted down. He didn't want that because part of his image, his Make America Great image, is I'm the strong, strict father figure, and I'm tough and I have it all covered. The false bravado. So, he chose that over his people in many respects, who were waiting for him to really give a message. He left his people out to dry. I mean, you have parking decks around UIC that, get very isolated. I mean, they could have gone back to their cars and, gotten attacked or something. And here's their leader not standing up for them, not showing up when they needed him to show up. And that's not part of a Making America Great Again. That's not a tough guy. That's not a commander-in-chief. But, that's what Donald Trump followers are getting. That's your candidate. That's your president. So, I mean, this thing's going to be spun a lot of ways. It's actually a great night because, the mask is off. We get to see, where people are with it. When they say Make America Great Again, they want to go back to a time when, they felt like they were on top of it. Coming out of World War II, where America was the unchallenged power in the world, where, hey, if you were a white man or a white woman in the 50s and the 40s, hey, the world was your oyster. You had it all. The growing of the suburbs, the GI Bill that created the middle class, and, but while it created the middle class, it locked people out of those possibilities and into ghettos. And that wasn't part of Making America Great. But, you have people that, show nostalgia for that era, and that's who Donald Trump appeals to. So last night at UIC, the shutting it down and the rallies, that was a beautiful thing. That was democracy. Donald Trump had the ability to come back and say what he needed to say there. He was not shut out in any way. And then, the idea that you can make America great, but, how are you going to do that when you're running from the American people? So, great night. Thought I'd give a quick shout, kind of break down what happened. Get a lot of email inbox boxes, messages and boxes, messages in the Facebook message. So It's kind of filled up. Didn't have a chance to answer everybody individually. So give me a comment. Tell me what you think about the rally and kind of, where do we go from here? Where do we go forward? How do we build? Have a good one. Have a great Saturday. And it's a great day. We're dyeing the river in Chicago, dyeing it green. Be careful out there, especially if you're black, you're black, you're out there and, you're partying in the city. It's a tough climate out here right now on the racial front. I mean, there's times I like to go out and party for St. Patrick's Day, dress up in green, but it's a different type of year. I'm going to sit it out this year, but I wish everybody the best. Let's have a great time, and tell me what you think. Talk a little politics. I'm out.